Now, my diagnosis starts all the way back in grade school. This is where it all started. Things were a lot worse or whatnot. Right now, I guess you could say borderline Asperger's, because it's still hard for me to socialize, but it's not really as bad as it was, especially back in grade school. Middle school, it was starting to get a little better, and then high school, I was able to manage, but it's still there. And then after high school, I was able to maintain a job. I was able to go to college. I was able to be a full-time college student and a part-time worker. And but grade school, that's when it all started. It wasn't really easy for me to make friends, socialize with people or whatnot. So my teachers and my parents, they easily identified that I was ADHD because it was hard for me. I would get distracted very easily by outside intrusion or whatnot, or I would fidget a lot whenever I had to sit down in a classroom or whatnot. But it wasn't really that hard for me to pay attention, but it was more likely impulsive and being easily distracted in the ADHD department. But they started to notice, my parents, something that was off about me. In their words, not mine, something odd about me, because I wasn't able to make friends, I wasn't able to socialize, I wasn't able to engage in a conversation or whatnot. So long story short, they wind up taking me to multiple diagnoses. It took multiple diagnoses to finally come up with a conclusion that I was ADHD and I have Asperger's. Aspies for short. So my parents went and done their research on it because they never really heard much about it. So with enough research, they took me to a behavioral therapist and social therapist. And I guess I got lucky that I was discovered at a very young age, like at age 5 or 7, whatnot, because what these schools offer, grade school, junior, middle school, high school, what they offer is, behavioral therapies, social therapies, classes for those with special needs, etc., etc. Even as a kid, whenever I didn't see having Asperger's or having social deficiency as being that serious, and whenever I saw something that wasn't really that serious, I figured that I could be able to find a way to overcome it, find a way to, like, for example, I could be able to find a way to find some words to initiate a conversation, or find the right words when I'm in a conversation, or when I'm in a social interaction with people especially those that I've never seen or I've never heard, I don't even know, whatnot. But couple things that really kind of interfere with my process of figuring out what and how to engage or initiate a conversation. First instant is that I remember, I will never forget this for as long as I live. I remember very clearly that I remember having a watch on, and I remember it was a digital watch, and one of my classmates asked me what time it was. My response was, okay, it's time to go to gym, or it's time to do my homework, it's time to go to class, or etc., etc. That's not what he was asking. He was asking what time it is right now. Like, it's 12:52 p.m., right? So the fact that I couldn't understand what he was saying, now it's going to be hard for me to figure out how to comprehend when I'm in social interaction with somebody, especially, and I never even known this guy, I never even seen him before until that particular day. So another instant, I will never forget this for as long as I live. I definitely will never forget this. I was in first grade at the time, and a fifth grader at the time put a kick me sign on my back, and he told me that I must wear okay, let me get off subject for a little bit, but I promise that this has a lot to do with this story. Now, every year we have this little amusement park thing going, like every May, like towards the end of the school year, we have this amusement park event where students can, grade school, high school, middle school students can go out to this amusement park or ride a roller coaster or stuff like that. We pretty much take I think we take a couple days off from school just to go to the amusement park with our families and our friends and whatnot. So this was towards the end of that year, and it was towards the amusement park event. So the guy put a kick me sign. I was in first grade, and this fifth grader put a kick me sign on my back, and he said, "Okay, if you were to take that off, you must wear that on your back for a week, and you must wear that same shirt for the whole week. And if you take that sign off your back, you will not go to the amusement park." So of course, I kept it on, and they started kicking my back and kick me left and right. Kids were just being jerks or whatnot, and that day I went home and my parents saw that and they took the kick me sign on my back. I went bananas. I went berserk. I started screaming, hollering, crying. And I said, "Oh, now I will never go to the amusement park. You took the kick me sign off my back." And that's when I noticed that, or my parents noticed, that I take things seriously. Like, I'm that guy. Like, if you're that guy who, if somebody put a kick me sign on your back and they say that you can't do this, you can't do that, if you take it off and you keep it on, then you're a serious guy. You're too serious. You take every single thing seriously. So yes, that could be some form of social deficiency, because in society there's going to be humor, there's going to be jokes. If you take things seriously, even if it's a joke or as a sense of humor or whatnot, then that could be a form of social deficiency in my book. So I wound up going to these behavioral therapies, and it started off when I was in first grade. Mind you, everything that happened, the amusement park, the kick me sign, the time teller, where I couldn't understand, if he asked me if it was time for me to go to gym or what the actual time it was. Everything started in first grade. Diagnosis, everything. So I went to behavioral therapy and social therapy from first grade. I think it was the beginning of fourth grade. And well, I was still going through behavioral therapy, but I was improving my behavioral and my social skills. And I was getting better at initiating, engaging in conversation, converse with people. I guess, as you could tell throughout this video, that it was more likely associated with social deficiency for me. And on and off, time and time again, it'll be to the point where I was socializing enough, I would congregate enough, I would talk to people enough that I just don't feel like talking anymore. I don't feel like, I'm just so tired. I feel like I exercised for like 5 hours straight. I didn't even catch a break, or I didn't stop and got a sip of water or whatnot. It just, my jaw started to hurt. I felt like my head was killing me. It'll be to the point where I would just literally find an excuse to take time off. I would come up with a scenario to where I would avoid going to school and talk more, because I figured that if I were to talk anymore, that I was going to scream or whatnot. But yeah, my parents were not fools. In fact, there was this one time where I turned on I think it was a 60-volt light bulb. I turned it on. I left it on for like about an hour or so, and I took a thermometer and I hovered it over the light bulb for a while. Even though it reached about 108, my parents said, "You know what? You're going to school. You're not sick. You're still going to have to go to school." The education part was not really that bad. It was hard for me to have some comprehension skills when I read, but I actually was able to figure that out myself. Math, I was top notch. Like, it was easy for me, and spelling was easy. Even history wasn't so bad, and science, even though I hated science, but it was still understandable for me. So yeah, first grade was, I mean, no, well, first grade was where everything started. You know, like I said, the diagnosis, the therapies, the amusement park incident, the just everything basically technically happened in first grade. So that's it for this topic. I understand that this video was a bit long, but I was trying to elaborate the best way I could. At the same time, I was trying to be as brief as possible. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. All comments are welcome in the comment section. You know, feel free to express your opinion in regards to this video. And don't forget to share this with your friends through social media, with your family, friends, all that other good stuff. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. As I have more of these videos on the way. So this video is basically 2-in-1. That's why this video is so long. You know, it's diagnosis / grade school experience. So yeah, that's basically what this is. I hope everyone's having a good day. Together we can dominate.